Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining our quarterly update call. Today, we have the leadership team plus Mike Bishop speaking with us. And just some quick housekeeping. Everyone is muted, so you can put any questions that you might have in the chat. That is the little chat bubble. And we will address any of those questions at the end of today's meeting. We are also recording today's meeting, and it will be posted to YouTube and then shared later. So Bill, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Randa. Hey, I'm Bill Byford, State Nutrition Director. I'm going to turn my camera off. It kind of impacts my ability to see the PowerPoint, so I guess I probably need to see that. But I did want to acknowledge everyone on the call. Thank you for all 91 of you who are joined at this particular moment. I obviously know that school's starting for some of you this week and the majority of you next week, so thank you for carving out some time for us today. We'll start with our Best for All strategy. Obviously, we reside down in the student readiness section on the bottom left, meeting the non-academic needs of all students in their career pathways by supplying nutritious, healthy meals on a daily basis. So thank you for what you do there. Our mission statement is always to develop extraordinary school nutrition professionals and provide strategies to increase consumption of healthy school meals. I'll additionally talk about our advocacy and our decision making. We make those three-pronged: students, SFAs, and state nutrition teams. So in the best interest of those three stakeholders. On our agenda today, we're going to have some state director updates from myself. Obviously, Dr. Dawes will share with us some compliance updates. Marlia Finch will be with us and share some initiatives and consultant team updates. Jolene Shear will also be with us today to share some updates. Randa Mead will also be with us to talk about some summer feeding, and Mike Bishop, one of our West Tennessee, Memphis Shelby consultants, will be with us to share some exciting information from the West Tennessee area. Let's get started with some updates. So it seems like over the past couple of years, PEBT has always been at the top of the list. I can share with you that that will not be at the top of the list for much longer. Obviously, the public health emergency ended on May 11th. Which prompted the reduction of this particular initiative. You can't just cut it off. You have to retire these initiatives in the right way. So currently we are in the appeals process. I know I've communicated with several of you over the last week. Our Accenture partners are helping us with that endeavor around appeals. Also, through those appeals, reconciliation with kids who did not receive those benefits or received an incorrect dollar amount on those benefits. So if you hear any of those parent concerns, feel free to shoot those to me, and we'll do our best to reconcile those and get those right. Summer EBT. So that's started to be a topic of conversation over the past several weeks. Obviously, that's going to be a recurring program starting in the summer of 24. All the guidance is currently not out there yet, and I think I've shared with most of you, and definitely through newsletters and listserv blasts, the little bit of information that I have there. And basically that's that it will be starting in the summer of 24, and the preparation for that, obviously waiting on the USDA to solidify the rules and regs associated with that program. And as soon as that occurs, we will be communicating that to you, and obviously advocating for the best possible way to do that moving forward. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, TDHS and TDOE are partners in that endeavor, just like PEBT. We had our first meeting a couple of weeks ago with the governor's office, and just to discuss how we would do that and the things involved with being able to do that. So looking forward to communicating those rules and regs to you as soon as those are finalized. Obviously, coming off the heels of summer feeding, I know we had a lot of that going on throughout the state of Tennessee. Randa Mead was our point person at the State Department on the state nutrition team for that. I'm going to let Randa come off mute and give you a summer feeding update.
Hey again, everyone. I have a very brief update. We expect these numbers to probably change. Well, we definitely expect the numbers to change on how many meals that we've served, but for sites, they probably won't change that much. So we had 952 total sites approved to operate in TMAC. We approved 144 total rural non-congregate sites. And then of those, 54 rural pocket sites were approved. So that's where we had to get permission from USDA to approve operation of a rural non-congregate site that was initially classified as not rural. And then I looked at how many meals we have served based on claims that have been filed. So this mostly represents May and then a little bit of June if for folks who have filed a June claim already. And when I looked earlier this week, we had 2,041,620 meals that had been claimed through SSO. And of those, 20,534 came from non-congregate sites. So we definitely expect those numbers on meals served to go up as more claims are filed. But just wanted to give a brief update on our numbers so far and say thank you for all the work that y'all do every single day to feed kids during the summer and during the school year.
I will echo that as well. Obviously, that is an increase in consumption of healthy school meals across the state. The rural non-congregate sites were typically sites that had not been utilized for that in the past. So that is an increase in those numbers as well. We appreciate all the hard work that you've done out there over the summer feeding kids in the state of Tennessee. Thank you for that. New reimbursement rates. So those came out a couple of weeks ago. We sent out a listserv blast and obviously put those in our newsletter as well. But if you missed that, those rates are on our website. Be sure to check out the state nutrition team's website. The new reimbursement rates for the National School Lunch Program, the School Breakfast Program, after school snack program, and special milk program are all listed for your viewing pleasures. The SNA Annual National Conference occurred July 9th through the 12th. Saw a huge contingency of Tennessee folks. Talked to many of you throughout the first couple of days of that conference, and then obviously we took a state picture and saw many more of you. Tennessee was represented well, had a great conference. Hopefully it recharged your batteries, and it sure did mine. I know we had one really robust day for state director updates and USDA updates. That was helpful, but enjoyed our time at the ANC Annual National Conference in Denver on July 9th through 12th. Our state level conference, the SMP Academy, is quickly approaching. The dates on that are August 29th through 31st. I'm not going to steal Marlia's thunder. I know she'll talk a little bit about that in her time coming up, but we want to see you there. Looking at the agenda, got a really good looking agenda, switching things up a little bit from last year with some breakout sessions and not just full participant sessions like we typically do. We'll have some of that, but we'll also have some breakout sessions too. And we think that some of the things that we've decided to do this year will catch your attention and be worthy of your attendance. So we look forward to seeing you in Chattanooga on August 29th through 31st. The last update that I have is around TMAC. You probably know from previous conversations that We've been dealing with the same vendor and dealing with the same product for a whole lot of years, and the commissioner wanted that product and that need for that product to go back into the marketplace and competitively bid that. We did that last year. Ironically enough, there was only one vendor who responded to that RFP, and that is the same vendor that we currently have now and that we've had. They've changed names a couple of times, but it's the same folks. Some of the things that we really wanted to do was enhance the product that we currently had, not only to help our external stakeholders, and that's you, but obviously the state nutrition team as well, to serve you better. Wanted to talk a little bit about some of those, what we call enhancements to the platform. Uh, One of those is ad hoc reporting and analytics. So that is not currently operational, but when it becomes operational, your field service staff will be able to assist you in any kind of ad hoc reporting or analytics that TMAC can produce for you on demand. Again, that's not ready today, but it is approaching where we'll be uh, putting that in our toolbox as well. So I hope you're excited about ad hoc reporting and analytics for your program. Another enhancement is kind of what we're going through currently today and over the last several months. Dr. Dawes is leading up this Medicaid demo project, DC matching. We are feverishly trying to get this thing off the ground, obviously working with multiple state agencies, working with multiple vendors and trying to connect all those dots. So obviously it is a huge endeavor. We are getting closer to being operational for that. Our target date is August 1st, previously July 1st. So that should tell you a little bit about the heartache that we've been enduring over the last month, and that's just trying to dot the I's and cross the T's and kick this thing off the correct way. Dr. Dawes will obviously give us an update on the DC project here in a little bit. The Titan menu planning. So the state agency picking up the tab for Titan menu planning. If there's anybody out there that's still paying for it, contact us and we'll make sure to get you over to the light side where you'll save a few dollars on Titan menu planning. System alerts. I know some of those have started going out already. We're still refining that. We don't want your director of schools to get those system alerts. We want you as a nutrition supervisor to get those. So currently working on notification access, credentialing, and all of those things to get those system alerts whenever needed to the right people. One other thing is what we call Azure hosting. Azure is a platform. It is much more secure than the one we had been using. That is a nice upgrade for your security. That is something that you don't see and you don't think of, but it is a thing, and we have to make sure that with all the personally identifiable information that we are secure and you are secure as well. And then the state level enhancements, which I won't bore you with the details, but there were several of those that will help us serve you better. The package that we have now from Link for the TMAC platform is much more robust than what we've ever had. We feel really good about it. We're paying for it, and it is a little bit more than what we're used to paying for, but we feel like the enhancements will help you do your job better and help us do our job to support you better. One last slide, Randa. One thing that I think is really important is, and the reason why I think it is important is because I've been on both sides of this fence, the academic side of the fence and the operational side of the fence. And typically operations take a back seat to academics. So I think it's really important to remember your why and articulate that. That's why I go over our Best for All strategy and our mission whenever we can, because I'm proud of that. You should be proud of your program too. So make sure you're practicing your elevator speech, your 30 seconds of fame speech when people stop you in the Kroger parking lot or in Kmart or Walmart. with your chest out and your chin up, talking about your program and how effective it is, knowing what your mission is, being able to articulate that, your vision, and ultimately the impact that you have on kids, because I think it's a huge impact. I've talked to a whole lot of people and typically start out a lot of my conversations around impact, and what that means is if you're hungry, you don't learn. So if you're on the academic side of this thing and you're looking for academic gains, the first place to start is the cafeteria, and that gets a kid in the mindset to learn. So remember your why, remember your vision and your mission and the ultimate impact that you have out in your districts, and it is deep and wide, and we appreciate that. I will kick it over to Dr. Dawes for her updates. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bill. I am Sandy Dawes. I'm the compliance director, and I am in charge of some special projects like the Medicaid demonstration project here at TDOE, Essence School Nutrition Programs. So, Miranda, I'm going to go ahead and let you change that slide, and then I'm going to, because it does mess up your thing, but I'm going to minimize it because, all right. So on my agenda today, guys, to discuss with you all is the Medicaid demonstration and the DC state match process. Just give you guys a few updates on that. And then also to just go over some of the AR Academy training, when it will be, and kind of the expectation for everyone to be there. So be there during the training. So first off, let's kick it off with the Medicaid demonstration project and DC state matching process. So we still continue to push to get this thing out and go live August the 1st of this year. We are on track today to make that happen. And what that will mean to you is you do not have to go live yourself on August the 1st. That means we will be going live in TMAC. If you're ready and you want to go live, then you're more than welcome to have your enrollment file and be ready to upload. We stand ready here at TDOE to help you and assist you in any way we can with that. I know we've already been helping several folks, but the first step you have to have whenever we get ready to go live is that enrollment file must be ready. So if you need help with that enrollment file, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Andrew, and we will work to schedule a time to do a quick training with you on that file and also the new DC module. So we're also working on a resource manual that will give you some step-by-step instructions on how to use the new DC module in TMAC. And based on the questions we have received, we are creating a FAQ, and training at SMP Academy will also be provided. So I know this is a big change. It's a lot. It's going to take a little time, but we're here. We'll support you. Once we get through all this, we're going to be clapping our hands and say, this is so useful and so helpful because we're getting every match that we possibly can on direct serve. So we have been busy here at the department working to get some of the kinks out of the new DC module and seeing the impact that it will have on your program. So to date, we have conducted UAT with 4 districts using their enrollment data and plan to use UAT with about 5 more by the end of next week. This is real data. This is real enrollment. This is real direct cert eligibility. So it's real data. Currently, the results seem to be similar to the number of matches the direct district found from their legacy system, but it was really kind of difficult to assess what that truly was. So hopefully, as we work through a few more districts and UATs, we'll have a better assessment on that, but it seemed very similar to start. We're also utilizing the UAT to identify some of the issues the system may have, like if there are duplicates in the system, how do we address those? How do you get rid of them? What does that mean? Such things as that. The district supervisors out there, they have been a tremendous resource as we work through this process. They have been pivotal in providing suggestions to make the process better from the district's perspective. And we are relaying all of those suggestions to our vendor and hopefully in making those changes and making this product the best it can be. So once we get, currently we have the office hours, which we have one right now going on, which you guys know I'm not at, by the way, I'm here. But we do have the office hours. We've had some questions, a few people attending. We have utilized that time to do some UAT testing, and some folks that happen to be on the office hours that weren't in our pilot folks to do UAT testing got to see some live action. So it has been very beneficial for those folks. So once we go live, we'll hold some office hours to answer your questions. These office hours will likely be different than what they are currently. Currently, we're doing 2 hours every Tuesday and every Thursday. That will probably change to 1 hour, maybe 2 or 3 days a week. We'll give you more information on that as we go. And using your questions from July 13th, I have a few updates for you guys that I thought, this is not all of your questions, just some that I pulled out that I thought you may really like an answer to now. So one of the questions was about private schools and their ID number. So I know on the thing we had the discussion on the July 13th call, can you use the private schools don't have a statewide state student ID. If you do not have a state student ID, you can use your local student ID, okay? This is a number that is used for you in your system. It is not bumped up against any of the matching data, okay? Another question we had is how often are SFAs required to conduct the DC match? I know in previous things that you were only required to do it 3 times per year, but you will be required to do this monthly at a minimum. So that may be a change for some of you. And, you know, with all of the funding options and the funding that's going on and changes that are going on in our world out here, I would recommend that you do it monthly because you want to make sure you catch every one of those kids for your district. So another question we had is after the first time you upload your enrolled students, do we just then upload the newly enrolled ones, kind of like you did the PEBT? The answer is no. Every month you will upload your entire student enrollment population, not just newly enrolled. This would make sure that if a kid came on to one of the means tested programs during, let's say, the end of July, that you would be able to catch them in August. And if you didn't have them on that enrollment, you would not be able to catch them. When will the DC be available for you to utilize in TMAC? So tentatively, every 10th day of the month, every 10th of the month, you can go into TMAC and start your DC process. In the past, DC had a lag month. So you would get your file in June, that would be for May. You would get your file in July, that would be for June. This will no longer be the case. When you get the file in July, that is July's data. So there is not a lag behind of a month, no more starting now. This will be true for legacy system as well as the new module. One of the questions that it was, will there need to be changes to your systems since we're adding Medicaid DC? And obviously the answer is yes, because you're going to have a code in there for Medicaid reduced and a Medicaid free. So you're going to need to add those to the system. And then I also want to remind everybody that the legacy system will remain in place for about 6 months. So it is there for you to use. It's there for your comfort level. But I recommend you start with the new system as soon as you can, because you know there's always a learning curve, and you don't want the legacy system to disappear and you're kind of lost there and nothing to do your DC on. Okay, so due to the transition, a lot of you have been asking about the June DC. There will not be a June DC on the legacy system. The June DC list will all be now included in your July DC. So that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks or so, or maybe the next few days. We've been using it to do some testing in our new module, and We've had to work out some kinks on it with one of the vendors or our state partners. And once that gets completed, which it looks like it's going to be completed this week, then it'll be there for you guys to upload. Another thing you guys are probably curious about is the eligibility letters. So there will be an updated eligibility letter that you need to provide your students whenever they're qualify for benefits via Medicaid, SNAP, TANF, whatever. Those currently sit with COMS. Once they get approved through COMS, we will be putting them on our website. We will be sending them out through listserv. And if you've already used the eligibility letters or communication that goes out to your community, that is fine. Once you start matching with the DC, Medicaid, and Medicaid is the benefit that the match is based on, you do need to use the updated letter. So a lot of stuff here, guys, on this new module. So again, I just want to reiterate, we do still plan on going live August the 1st, 2023. We've been working nonstop. It seems like nonstop anyway, to get this thing out there. I know it's going to be a big impact on your operations, and we all are right here. We're ready to assist you. Together, we'll make this thing work. We have to make this thing work. So together we can get the job done, and hopefully at the end of the day, everybody will benefit, and the kids will benefit. We'll get more matches. Your district will benefit, and we'll all rest a little easier. So that's what I have on the DC match process and Medicaid. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you get the opportunity, jump on those office hours. You never know what you might see or learn, even if you don't have a question. So it's a good opportunity just to visually watch us go through that process, because we have been randomly doing some of that was not planned. So the AR schedule is, I'm going to shift gears now to something that most of you are more familiar with, and that's the AR schedule. And I'm sure if you have one, you're looking forward to it. So it's on our website. This year, there's going to be 45 ARs. We will be having AR Academy on August 31st, the afternoon session. Lindsay Baldwin and Gary Gluch will be assisting me with that training. And if you are scheduled for an AR for school year 23-24, you are required to attend. So that's all I have, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jolene. So Jolene, take it away. And thank you, guys. And thank you for feeding those kids and everything you do out there.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Sandy. I am Jolene Shear, the local support and regional consultant director. I get the privilege of supporting the consultants behind the scenes that ultimately affect you and also our students. I have the privilege today to introduce you to a new staff member. Our Mid-Cumberland West, if you guys recall, Zarema Maxwell was previously in this position. We have split that Mid-Cumberland about 2 years ago because it's gotten so large. So welcome Jennifer Smart. She comes to us with a lot of experience. She has a culinary arts background. She actually was the Sumner County School Nutrition Director a couple of years ago, if you guys remember her. Also, she worked for Metro Nashville Schools as the nutrition manager, and also worked for SLA Food Service Management Company as well. So she has a wealth of knowledge from different aspects in school nutrition. So we want to welcome her. Most of you in her region, I know that actually all of you have heard from her already, but here's her email at the bottom if you need it. And next, just putting these back on your radar, the school nutrition program director showcases. Just a little quick recap. This isn't the first time I know that you guys heard me talk about it, but this is an opportunity for you to engage with your peers, to see what's going on in other districts, share best practices, recipes, how they're running the program. So we're going to continue with these this year. And you also heard me talk about a share person taking over these showcases. And then the goal is to have 2 to 3 showcases over the course of this coming school year. And we have some chairperson volunteers. So I just want to highlight all of those that volunteered. I know you guys are busy, so we're really thankful that you'll continue these. Michelle Wright from Benton County. We have Cheryl Cochran from Hardin County Schools in Southwest Region. Kim Stewart from Memphis Shelby County. And then Jacqueline Wallace from Stewart County. Emily Estes from DeKalb. Spring Brindley from Lincoln County Schools in South Central. Peggy Hamby from Morgan County Schools in East Tennessee. And last but not least, we have two more. Russell Fugit from Rundy County Schools. And Jennifer Walker from Kingsport City. So thank you for all of you. Hopefully you guys will be hearing from these folks coming up. And as always, if you need anything from our consultant team, you can always reach out to them. Also, this was another initiative that we've done, and we recognized folks at TSNA this year, but we'll continue to recognize folks at S&P Academy in August. So if you submit your state recognized certification track that you completed by August 4th, we'll recognize you at our S&P Academy. You see on the screen there are 3 pathways you can choose. There's in-person or virtual training tracks. And then also, if you already have an SNA level 2, 3, or 4, or an SNS certificate, you essentially automatically qualify. So we'll just need your documents. You can email those to nutrition@tia.gov. All right, and I'm going to turn it over to Mike Bishop, who is our Shelby Memphis Regional Consultant for a District Highlight. Thanks, guys. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Jolene. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mike Bishop. I'm the Regional Consultant for Memphis and Shelby County. And I'm excited and honored to highlight Memphis Shelby County Schools, their Division of Nutrition Services today on the call. The director there is Eugene Bradford. And Eugene and his team organized a food show that they put on last March. They had more than 40 vendors in the K-12 food service industry. And the Memphis Central High School drumline and dance team opened the show, which is really cool. They had a DJ there, just a lot of really high energy, positive energy for the whole thing. They had 350 students that they brought into the food show from 6 schools. They were able to go and see each vendor and sample some of the products there. And then they completed little survey or assessment cards for each of the items that they sampled. So out of that, they approved 43 of those items. The students did, and 21 of those will make it into the menu for this next school year. So I think that was a very successful food show, and it's just a great collaborative approach to student-centered service. It's going to help provide Memphis Shelby County Schools students with high-quality nutritious meals this school year and beyond. So congratulations and a job well done to Eugene and his team at Memphis Shelby County Schools. Thank you. And I believe Marlia Finch is next.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Marlia Finch, the Supplemental Programs Director. So that means I get to oversee Farm to School, Marketing and Communications, Training and Professional Development, and I manage grants. All right, so we are going to dive right in. As a reminder, as Bill has already mentioned on this call, S&P Academy is quickly approaching. So August 29th through 31st, be sure to register for S&P Academy if you have not already. Also, be sure to register for AR Academy. The registration links have been sent out. They are also in the weekly updates if you have missed them. And as a strong reminder, if you want to book a room at the Chattanoogan through our room block, the deadline to book through the room block is tomorrow. So July 28th is the last day to book through the room block, and there should be about 20 rooms left. So there are rooms available in that room block. Moving on, since summer is wrapping up and you are gearing up to start the new school year, we want to make sure that you get your Turn Up the Beat nominations submitted, and that recognizes Outstanding Summer Meals Program. So this is a great time to go ahead and submit those nomination forms. Those go to Randa through the school nutrition email inbox. So school.nutrition@tn.gov is where you will submit your nomination forms. And then if you have any questions, please reach out to Randa. And I am going to put the link to the nomination form in the chat, so you have that available right now. And we will also send links out through weekly updates and the recap. And this is some exciting news. We are working with a vendor to build out a learning management platform. So we are in the process of creating and building on-demand trainings for you guys. So you have virtual learning options at your fingertips. And we will have more information about this LMS platform at S&P Academy. We are hosting a breakout session designated just to LMS. So in that breakout session, we plan to help you create a login and provide a demo as to what it will look like and how you will navigate the trainings that we create and put on this platform for you. So exciting things coming up in the training world for school nutrition. And we will go over some farm to school items real quick. So any of the local food for schools grant reimbursement items that you've submitted, those invoices and reimbursements are in the process of getting you paid. So we do know there are a handful of invoices that are still in process. So don't worry, your money is coming for you. And you will work with Lindsay Paul if you do have any questions for those reimbursements. More farm to school related items. So just to put this on your calendar and on your radar early this year, the junior chef competition will be March 7th and 8th this year. Again, orientation that evening on the 7th and full day of competition on the 8th. And it will be at the Nashville State Community College campus. Again, the South Campus in Antioch. So they have a large commercial kitchen, so all 8 teams can compete at the same time. So we are excited to have at home for our junior chef competition this year. And even more exciting news, we have kind of stolen the Southeast Regional competition. So once students compete at our state level competition, they have the opportunity to go on to the regional competition, which historically has been held in Louisville, Kentucky at Sullivan University. Well, this year we've kind of stolen it from Kentucky, so we are going to host it as the state of Tennessee. So that is super exciting news for us as Tennessee. And that will be held May 9th and 10th. And we have a few grant updates. So Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program, go ahead and start planning how you operate the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program for this upcoming school year. You can start operating that as soon as school starts. So do not wait for that required training. That's on August 17th. I just sent out the calendar invite for that. You do not have to wait for that training to start operating FFVP. So go forth and prosper and get those fresh fruit and vegetables to those kiddos as soon as you can. Your allocations are in TMAC, so you can go in and view those. And again, if you have any fresh fruit and vegetable related questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to assist in any way that I can. The PEBT administrative funds, we have created the award letters and those are forthcoming. So that last bit of PEBT admin funds are on the way to you soon. Again, just to reiterate, the local food for schools grant, any documentation for reimbursement that will go to Lindsay Paul. If you have any questions, please reach out to Lindsay. And also, we will highlight some best practices and some ways to utilize those funds during the local procurement session during S&P Academy. And last but not least, we have applied as a state agency for the school breakfast expansion grant that you may have seen announced by the USDA. So we have applied for that, and the USDA will announce the awardees for that grant towards late August. So we will keep you posted if Tennessee receives those grant funds. And that is all from me. So I will pass it back to Bill.
All right, so I see a few questions, so we'll let Randa address those and we'll try to answer them.
Yeah, and before we go into the questions, I did just want to let everyone know a note about the room block for S&P Academy. If you click on the link that has been sent out, it automatically populates and starts with a Monday night arrival. So that would be the 28th. And it may look like we don't have rooms available, but if you change that to a Tuesday arrival, it will then give you the room block rate, which is $129 a night. And there are only double rooms available. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew that in case you had tried to reserve a room recently and got that it was like $200. We do have some rooms, but they're only available for Tuesday night and Wednesday night, so no more early arrival rooms. And if you haven't booked a room and you need that link or have any questions about that, since tomorrow is the last day, feel free to just go ahead and reach out to me directly so that you can get that information before we send out any sort of recap, because it'll be gone by the time you get a recap. Okay. On to questions. Our first question says, our software support would like to physically see the export to ensure accuracy when Titan reads the data. I've sent the files that you have provided, but he states that this is not what he needs. Any suggestions on how to proceed?
Who is asking the question? Where's this? Can you tell us where the question's coming from, Miranda, whenever you ask these, so I'll know who to reach out to?
So sometimes I can see the full name, sometimes I can't. All I see on this is Jennifer, so I'm not sure which Jennifer that is.
Okay, if you, whenever we get done with this call, if you can go on the office hours at 2, we can show you that.
It is Jennifer Mitchell in Putnam County.
Okay, if you just jump on the office hours link whenever we get off this call, we can quickly show you an example of that.
And then the next chat, Marlia had put in the AR schedule link. We had a question asking if the July 13th meeting had been sent out, and Brittany responded with the YouTube link to that meeting. Then we have the link to the Turn Up the Beat application. And those are all of our questions and comments that I am seeing in the chat. But we will give it just a minute or so to see if we have any other questions that do come through.
While we wait for a minute on that, I want to thank you for joining today. I know we had about 140 folks from across the state join us today. I want to echo what Dr. Dawes said as well. We are here to support you on this DC matching, this new piece that we're working with. So do not hesitate to reach out to your field staff. Do not hesitate to reach out to Dr. Dawes or Mr. McCluskey. Do not sit there and get frustrated. We are working on the resource guide. If you'll remember, through PEBT, we had resource guides for BVR. We had resource guides for overissuance. We will have a resource guide for this process as well. So do not be frustrated. Just make a quick phone call or an email or refer to that resource guide, and I think it will be helpful for you. So she's also asking about office hours. Can we drop that link to office hours in here as well? I know we send it out on listserv and we send it out on newsletter, but
I
we can
am
probably
in
grab
the
it.
process of getting that.
Okay.
Hey, guys, I know we're on this call today, and I know that that may have put a little bit of time crunch on those office hours. So if you jump on there and we need to extend those, because we'll take care of you today if we got to stay all night. So just letting you know.
Thank you. So you see the link that's posted here in the chat. Feel free to utilize that for office hours today. And like I said, like Dr. Dawes said, we will be extending those into next week and obviously into future weeks as well. We know that we're going to be needed and we want to be there to support you. Resource guide. When we get it, we'll send it to you. We're working on it feverishly right now. So we think that we'll have that done by maybe the end of the week, first of the week next week. But we will get that out to you as soon as we can. No further questions. We appreciate your time today. If we can help you, make sure to reach out. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, everyone.